we shall overcome.
The civil rights trip to the South is part of a larger community thinking to develop Jewish education journey for teens, aiming for students in 9th and 10th grader. A lot of our high school students are interested in civil rights and looking to explore our Jewish identity.
When Dr. King asked for people who believe in justice to come to Selma, they came by the plane loads, the bus loads, the car loads.
When we traveled to Selma, Alabama, I was feeling very emotional because I'd heard all of the stories about the March on Selma, and we listened to a story from a woman named Joanne who was 11. She was the youngest person on that march. I was hit hard with that story because it made it so real.
People like my age who walked like miles and miles and miles, seeing it from like their perspective and how scary it would have been and how much determination it took.
I think when your kid grows up Jewish, you're often like, they're for sure going to go to Israel. And we saw this trip, and I think it was, he's for sure going to do this trip because it felt just as important.
And being able to experience that through this Jewish lens was amazing.
The events of the civil rights movement, like he's read the books, he's heard the stories, but it was very different to be able to meet the actual people and to hear things firsthand.
The ShinShinim need to be wherever teens are because the ShinShinim help us to bring the teens. They are part madrichim, part teener themselves, and they help us to continue the conversation with the teens.
That's what make like the bond between me and those teens, and it was great that it was at the beginning of the year because it make a deeper connection with the teens, and it make my work way easier because I build a connection during that trip as a ShinShinim.
We are fortunate enough to have Yoav go to our synagogue, so I do see him every weekend. We've had very good conversations about the civil rights trip and its relation and the things that the people there have in common with the struggles that Jewish people have gone through over the years.
Usually with the ShinShinim, you'll see like in school every once in a while, but it'll only be for like an hour. But this is like we actually got to like spend actual time with them and create an actual like bond, which was really nice.
We knew our federation and our community was supporting this trip and making it possible for everybody. It just speaks to our community in the way that we can collaborate, especially when it's for the benefit of our kids, of our youth.
I'm excited for next year because I will be in a class, AP African American Studies. The trip did spark an interest in the class because I want to know more now about what led up to this and what happened after.
This was another Jewish moment, and it was also a moment that wasn't a Jewish moment, that was learning about the Black experience and what had happened. And it means other voices have to play a role, and he will hopefully play a role in making sure those voices get heard.
I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.